Well, happy Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Justin Gehrts, and thanks for joining us here on the 10 Weather Impact Show.
And I'm meteorologist Aaron White, and we got a lot to unpack here in the show as we are tracking some more rain. And of course, something we don't need. We've had so much rain here in the last week. You know, we're talking about this. We've already gotten about 5 inches of rain just since a week ago today when we were tracking those severe storms rolling through, dumped some heavy rain. We got more rain that Wednesday, a little break on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
There it was again, right?
So it's back, and it's back again tomorrow, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it could be some local downpours. Some of us are going to get at least another inch of rain. Not everybody, but some of us. And where we have those higher amounts that could be pushing over 2 inches, if that happens, we'll be watching for flash flooding concerns in those places.
Yeah, and as we talk about just all the rain before we get into the forecast, check out some of this video. This was from just over the past week. This is some video I captured over the weekend down on the Scioto Mile Trail. You can see the Scioto River very full, getting closer to flood stage earlier this weekend after we had nearly 5 inches of rain just in the past week. And Justin, of course, you know, we're tracking more rain here tomorrow.
That we are. And the Scioto at Circleville is forecast to go below flood stage coming up this afternoon, or rather later this evening, as that area has had some minor lowland flooding going on. But hot off the presses here, a flood watch has now been issued for much of the area for tomorrow, goes through Wednesday evening. Just about everybody is under this flood watch just because the potential for local downpours will lead to some flash flooding concerns. All right, as far as where the rain is right now, maybe a couple of showers working into southern Ohio at this point, but there's a bunch of dry air in place, so whatever does sneak in from the south today, going to be light, it's going to be scattered, more of a nuisance than anything else. We've certainly had our fair share of rainy days around here lately. Had almost 1.5 inches back on Friday, over a ½ inch on Saturday, then on Sunday another inch of rain. So far this month we've had over 6 inches of rain officially in Columbus. I know some of you have had even more than that. Normally we'd have about 3¼ inches through today's date, so that puts us about 3 inches above average through the the 26th of May here? Yeah, so it has been pretty wet for sure. All right, so here's that 10 weather impact alert for tomorrow. The potential for heavy rain, maybe a few thunderstorms. Right now, not concerned about severe weather necessarily, but localized flooding, certainly a possibility. So stay weather aware. Have that 10 TV app on your phone. You can check radar and make sure you have those weather alerts turned on just in case your location happens to go under a flash flood warning. All right, so here's the rainfall outlook through Wednesday night. And there you see, anywhere we have the dark blue or more, that's where at least a ½ inch of rain is likely. And you'll notice that corridor from roughly I-70 and south is most at risk to see some of those areas of heavier rain. Where we see the brighter blues, that's where we may see over 1 inch of rain. Now, that doesn't mean everybody in those spots gets over 1 inch of rain, but the potential certainly is there for quite a few of us to do that. And where those local downpours happen repeatedly, a few spots could get over 2 inches of rain. That's where we run into some issues, because if you're wondering how much rain would it take in a 6-hour period to cause flash flooding, that's what this shows. Anywhere we have the greens, that's 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and there are a couple of spots that we could certainly hit that threshold. Most of the area is around 2 to 2.5 inches of rain in 6 hours would cause flash flooding. Is everybody going to see that? No, but a few of us could, and if that were to happen, that would be where we would have our threshold for getting some of that flooding issues. All right, so here's what we're kind of thinking as far as the broader picture here. We have the saturated soils from the recent rainfall, plus those isolated downpours that are pretty heavy tomorrow. Where we have that combination, where we're most susceptible to that, is near and south of Interstate 70 for tomorrow. So again, some localized flash flooding is a possibility if all those ingredients do come together in one particular place. As far as river flooding right now, most of us are doing okay out toward Coshocton, north Delaware, just below flood stage at this point. But as I mentioned earlier, the Scioto at Circleville is running in minor flood stage. All right, here's that hour by hour as we see some of those light showers trying to develop this afternoon and evening. If they happen, more of a nuisance than anything else. All right, so for the overnight hours, there we see some areas of rain and maybe a few thunderstorms develop late in the night, early tomorrow. If these areas of rain are right over Columbus during the morning drive, it'll be a slower one causing delays, so do keep that in mind. Meredith Garfalo will be watching the radar in the morning. We'll let you know the timing of any sort of rain and how it'll be coming through during the first part of the morning. Then during the day, we'll see off and on rain and a few thunderstorms. There will be breaks, there'll be lulls, but as you see here, there are those spots where there's some of that orange showing up, indicating that potential for local downpours. Good news is, once we work into the evening, this activity slides away. We'll see a clearing sky, and then during the day on Thursday, it is the first of many days of very pleasant and, more importantly, dry weather that take over the area. In fact, as we check out the precipitation forecast here, we do have that area of drier than average conditions coming up here as we go into the end of May, into the first part of June here. There you see the drier than normal conditions. That's exactly what we want to see. So this takes us beyond the 7-day forecast, even into those first days of June. Temperatures have really taken off, too, despite the fact that we have a veil of clouds overhead. We're at 80 now in Columbus, and most of us are in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. All right, here's that 7-day forecast. As again, there's that very slight chance of a shower later on. Weather impact alert for tomorrow. Areas of rain, locally heavy, could be a few thunderstorms. 77 is your high. After that, my oh my oh my, that is a good looking forecast as we do see sunshine Thursday through Monday of next week and probably beyond. Comfortable morning lows in the 50s, nice afternoon highs in the 70s. It'll be our longest stretch of dry weather in about 6 weeks.
Yeah, finally getting some of that dry weather. I mean, nice to see the sunshine, and hopefully even past the 7-day forecast, we get those dry conditions to continue because just about, coming up on just maybe 10 days from now, we have the Memorial Tournament starting off. So I know in years past there's been rain for the tournament, so hopefully this year is not one of those where we don't have to deal with the rain. We can just keep this dry stretch continuing here with the sunshine. I mean, that's a nice weekend.
Oh,
Sunny
absolutely.
And 75.
We deserve that.
Yeah, it can't be that, especially after all this rain. And while we've been dealing with all the rain, parts of the South have actually dealt with severe weather as a tornado actually touched down in parts of Alabama, causing some widespread damage and destroying at least one home. One of the sheriffs down there tells CBS affiliate WTVY that no one was in the home at the time, thankfully. At least 2,000 people were without power as of Monday night from all the severe weather down there. And as we talk about the cloudy, cooler, rainy weather, most Columbus outdoor pools are actually still closed this morning and really today as we follow the holiday weekend. The openings got delayed because of the cooler conditions and the rainy weather. Now the city is shifting to a temporary weekday closure schedule until the school year ends. Maintenance issues are also delaying the seasonal opening at Driving Park Pool. Marion Franklin Pool will remain closed all summer for a major renovation project. Neighbors can expect all city pools to launch full daily hours on June 6th. And as Memorial Day weekend is wrapping up, it also marks the unofficial start to summer, and for many it also means grill season. Yeah,
but if you are planning a cookout this summer, brace yourselves for some sticker shock. Meat prices are way up. Jen Sullivan reports and looks at why some items will cost you a lot more this year and what to buy instead to save money.
Firing up the grill this summer? The high cost of meat may burn a hole in your wallet.
I've been in this business over 50 years right now, and I've never seen the meat prices so high.
Stu Leonard Jr. is the president and CEO of Stu Leonard's grocery stores in the New York tri-state area. He says he's been splitting the rising cost with his meat suppliers instead of passing off those costs to consumers.
I can't pass 100% of our cost increases on to customers, and they're fed up right now.
The average retail price for beef was a record $9.64 per pound last month. That's 13% more than last year, according to the USDA. Rising operating costs have forced many cattle farmers to reduce their herds. The USDA says herd levels are at a 75-year low, but the demand for meat in the U.S. is still sky high, and that's one of the reasons we're seeing record high beef prices. Instead, Leonard suggests buying hamburgers and hot dogs.
We're going to see a little shift away from the expensive meats. We are noticing customers switching from beef down to chicken.
Chicken is cheaper this year. The average price for boneless chicken breasts is about $4.17 per pound, and salmon prices have fallen. But many fresh vegetables will cost you a lot of green this summer. Tomato prices are up nearly 40% from last year due to weather hurting supply. Potatoes are cheaper though. So how can you save?
There's always something out on the market where they want to move a product, so they'll give you a great price on chicken, great price on lobster tail.
Another tip, Leonard says don't buy pre-sliced items like watermelon. It's a lot cheaper to buy it whole and slice it yourself. And avoid buying products being offered as a free sample. He says many retailers jack up those prices. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
and talk about grilling and stuff. I mean, it's always just kind of the fun time about as you get into the summertime, you get the warmer temperatures and stuff. I know everyone fires up the grill. You can always smell it when you step outside. I'm like, oh, somebody's grilling nearby.
Yep. We did pizzas on the grill the other night. Used naan bread as the crust, which we hadn't done that in years. So that's super easy. Garlic butter, good stuff.
Do you have a favorite thing to grill?
We're making steak. I'm making steak sandwiches tonight.
Nice.
Lots of garlic aioli on those. Can't go wrong with that. We enjoy making Philly cheesesteaks on the grill.
Oh, never tried that.
Oh, it's so good.
That sounds good.
Oh yeah.
I always go for like the classic hamburgers and stuff, which is easy enough. I do love to grill salmon. So either putting it on like a little cedar plank or even wrapping it in tin foil and just like letting it cook and get all that heat. Just sounds really good right now.
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, right? Well, there you go. Something to do once we get rid of this rain, we get the more sunshine here later on this week. I know a lot of people will be firing up the grill. But also something we want to talk about. This is a very interesting story. Trips to the roller skating rink are no longer just for birthday parties and hanging out with friends.
Yeah, meteorologist Meredith Garfalo takes us to the roller rink where STEM learning is happening outside the classroom.
It's a science lesson that ends with a sweet treat.
I bet a plant cell would be better to eat.
I like the icing. I don't remember what part of that was for the cookie.
This cookie represents a cell. And these students from Olentangy Berkshire Middle School are learning about more than just what tickles their taste buds.
Go ahead and start enjoying your edible cell.
I really like the nucleus. It's like the main part. I really like that one. It's like in control. And my favorite part to eat was probably the ribosomes.
This isn't happening in your typical classroom laboratory. It's at
Let's get to it.
the roller skating rink, where students from kindergarten through high school get a hands-on STEM lesson on a topic they learned about this year.
So we've done force and motion, we've done kinetic potential energy.
It's part of a nationwide program developed by United Skates of America that allows schools to take a private field trip to a place where kids can get the opportunity to literally work and play.
Physics concepts, biology concepts are very abstract and difficult for kids to understand and learn. But what we do here is they learn it and then they actually go and do it.
I think the best part is once the science lesson is done, you get to lace up your skates, go out there and hang out with your friends, and my personal favorite from going to the rink, maybe even win a prize from all the games. Oh, yes. Perfect.
I'm going to start filling out his space.
That's one of my favorite parts of my job is watching the kids socialize with each other without any technology in their hands.
Valuable moments that build on more than just textbook topics and help these kids connect concepts from the classroom to their daily lives.
Anytime that students can interact together, work as a group, have higher level questions, critical thinking skills, it's just life experiences. And anytime we can involve the community in that, I think it's a wonderful opportunity.
Meredith putting on the roller shoes, braver than me. All right, finally today, let's check out some new video into 10 TV. The flash of a meteor fall was seen near a volcano in the Philippines on Monday. The landing was caught on a Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology webcam as the Mayon volcano was experiencing a low-level eruption. The institute said the meteor had disintegrated during its plunge through the atmosphere and did not strike the slopes of the volcano, but pretty wild to see that.
I mean, just like looking at it, and I mentioned this earlier when we first saw the video, like had it just been like a little bit further to the right, the perspective of the camera, it would have looked like it just went straight into the volcano. But obviously it did not land on the volcano, it burned up before, but still kind of a dramatic scene to see a little bit of a small eruption and a meteor too.
Yeah, pretty wild. What a good timing, I suppose, to have captured that on camera.
Yeah, and one more video before we go. This is a little bit of a fun one, kind of a wild one out in Texas. This is in Waco, Texas, where a kangaroo was on the loose and was caught after being seen at a local Kia dealership on Monday. In a post on Facebook, Waco police said this wasn't the first time they've dealt with a loose kangaroo.
Is that a common thing?
I guess so. I don't know. Some wild stuff happens down there. But the first time this happened, we said it wasn't our typical patrol day, end quote. And the post on Facebook, that's what the post on Facebook said. But now it's just, they're calling it a routine. There's your pun for the day.
Boo.
Gotta love it. Kind of wild to see that, just kangaroo on the. I wouldn't have thought about that. When I first saw the video, I was thinking, oh, this got to be like somewhere in Australia or somewhere else maybe, but
nope. In Waco, Texas.
Waco, Texas. All right.
As happens apparently in Waco, Texas.
Yeah, so there you go. So just some wild video for us here today. But before we go, let's go ahead and take another look at the forecast. If we can, take a look at Weather One here as we call it the 7-day forecast, because we got the warm temperatures here today, low 80s right now. But we are, of course, really keeping a good eye on what's happening here later tonight into Wednesday with all that rain.
Yeah, flood watch in effect for much of the state coming up for tomorrow. And it'll be a situation where, does everybody have flooding? No. But is there potential for locally heavy rain that causes some localized flooding? Absolutely, very much in play, especially in those places, first of all, that are just kind of notorious for getting standing water. So that'll be a thing we have to watch for today. But elsewhere, anywhere that gets under repeated rounds of rain and gets 1.5 inches, 2 inches of rain, in those neighborhood scale sorts of things, that'll be where we have that heightened risk of some potential flash flooding. Now, I wish I could tell you exactly where that's going to be,
right.
But it's kind of like, you think about a pot of boiling water, there's, the kind of bubbles, but you don't know where the first ones are going to come up. Similar sort of situation where there's going to be those spots where you get the really heavy rain a couple of times. Where those exactly are, don't know, but I would say the areas that are favored for where we have the saturated soils, plus the heavy downpours, generally close to and south of I-70 as it looks right now.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when you get down into southeastern Ohio, especially with all the hills and everything, because they're already waterlogged. It really does not take much rain, as you mentioned in your forecast. 1.5 inches in some of those areas.
Get the job done in
could
those
easily lead to some localized flash flooding. So, of course, we're going to be focused on that. We have the 10 weather impact alert here for Wednesday, and then after Wednesday, we can finally just rest easy.
Yeah, no, it'll be, like I said, our longest stretch of dry weather in about 6 weeks, starting on Thursday. So we deserve it. It's coming, but we just have to get through tomorrow. And again, morning drive tomorrow could have some downpours coming by as well. It's going to be one of those situations that it's, Columbus proper, we have the higher impacts just because there's so many more people going to work at that time.
Yeah.
But, if it were be 20 miles north or 20 miles east, that would be great. But because there's the potential for stuff during commute, during that couple-hour period, want to highlight that as well.
Yeah, so of course we're going to be tracking that here as we go through the rest of today, and of course as we get into the day on Wednesday with the showers and potential for some thunderstorms moving through the area, leading to those heavier downpours, and then just ready for all that sunshine here, looking ahead to the weekend. So that'll do it for us here today on the 10 Weather Impact Show. Coming up later on this afternoon, Chief Meteorologist Chris Tomer is in. He'll have an update on how much rainfall we are expecting here across central and southern Ohio, and of course that potential for flooding, and then looking ahead to the sunnier days here with that weekend forecast. So until then, you can catch more news and weather online as always at 10tv.com.